Hello, welcome back to school.
Salve Omnis. I'm just gonna run through and do a Latin update real quick. I kind of feel like garbage right now. I've been sleeping for the past couple days, so I don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna do a Latin update, and we'll just kind of get caught up on everything with that. Okay, I gotta flip you over. Okay, so this is. Let me actually get some better light for you guys, because this is not good lighting. Okay, this should work a little bit better, but I'm not sure. Okay, so this is quiz 17. Let me zoom in on it and see. Okay, yeah, so this is quiz 17. I did this like a long time ago. And I wasn't really happy with it. There's a lot of errors that shouldn't have been made. But yeah. So this was the one I had issues with the nominative, and Magister had to help me, so we opted for half credit on that. And then I wrote down the important rule for that one. So hopefully that is sticking better. And then this is like translation stuff, and I think when I went through this, there was an error here, and I didn't have it marked the first time, so I think originally I gave myself full credit on this, but this one is wrong. So that one, I fixed that error. But yeah. So then this is the redo one that I did like a long time ago. No, actually I did this like a couple months ago. Or maybe it was just earlier this year. This is like on November 1. I think it was on November 1. But I can't tell because the marker from the other side. This looks like it could be November 1. I'm thinking it's November 1. I think I did this one when I was lying on the floor. Yeah. So this one, I got everything correct on it. I'm really happy. This was obviously like November 1. And the first one was like in March. It's being weird. Yeah, that's in March 14 that I did this one. So we had done some recitation and, did some other stuff. So apparently something good must have happened because I got everything on this thing correct, which is really nice. I wasn't like too nervous about it. I felt comfortable and all that good stuff. So I was happy about it. I think the only thing I got wrong was like a bonus point. No, did I get them all right? Oh, I got all the bonus points correct too. You gotta love that. Okay, so that was a really good one. And then we move into chapter 18, which was basically dealing with adjectives. Now, at some point in our lessons in this, well, really, this is just a notebook. It's not a textbook, but somewhere in our lessons for this, we did adjectives, and I think it was like a week later or something, I don't know, but we did adjectives, and I thought, you know what, I should like look at the adjective quiz and see if I could do that. So I kind of looked at the adjective stuff and the vocab stuff, and apparently I didn't really understand much of it because there's a lot of red stuff on here. So we're gonna kind of go through this. So I think I got all the vocabulary correct. I don't see any marks on the vocabulary. Oh, there's like a half point off on that one because of the us. I didn't have an us on that one. So it should have been oos, and I put down ah, which is kind of weird. Yeah. But otherwise, I think all these other ones were okay. I'm just checking to see. The grammar questions were correct, except those two. Yeah. So I totally don't understand like these, like what comes before or what comes after and all this other stuff. I don't know. It's just really messed up in that way. Tables. I'm real good at doing tables. I love to do tables. So I did all those correctly. And then like this is the parsing and stuff of like the words. This one was really weird because one, I didn't realize this after the fact, but when I was looking through all my workbook stuff, which we're going to get to, they wanted these marked off as like part, like if it's a 1-2 declension, like here, like this adjective is a 1-2 declension adjective, and I wrote down that it's a 1. On top of that, it's screwed up on this. It should be a second declension, not a first declension, and all the other stuff is wrong because I got the other stuff wrong. Yeah. So this one was not a really good one. But the other one I did really good on. I don't know why I got this one right. I think it's because it was like more simpler, dare I say. I don't know. It's like, translate this. And now translate this. That's easier. But this was really hard. I just didn't get it. Okay, so then the next page on lesson 18. This one I got was kind of wonky. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, let's just start with this one at a time. So again, we have your declensions of your subjects and stuff. I got that one correct. And then for the adjective, again, I had to mark down that it was a 1-2 declension, not just a 1. And I think I do that because I'm marking the adjective with the noun and not seeing like the whole declension. But I don't know. They want a 1-2, so I have to figure out that it's a 1-2 declension. But other than that, I got everything else correct. Now here for the verb, I wrote down like he, he has expected, which is totally wrong. I totally looked at the word wrong or something. I don't know. It was totally not the right word. But I wrote down that it technically should be she. Where's my finger? Yeah, there it should be she because we do have a subject. And the subject is a female. So because it's a female, technically this should be like a she. Whoops, where'd it go? Here it is. This should be a she. I'm not doing this right. There it is. That should be a she and not a he. So, that was taken off a half point because that's just, I should know that I'm dealing with the puella. The spectabat or spectavit should be a puella spectavit. And I should just know puella spectavit is the girl looked at. Yeah, and as for this expecting thing, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was like in a daze or something when I was working through this. I don't know. It was really messed up. So then here I got these right. I don't know if like proceed is the right word. I was talking to my teacher about that and he says it's like a different word. So, but follow, yeah. I don't know. I could technically take off a point if that truly is the wrong word, but I knew what I meant. But yeah. And obviously I don't know how to spell precede either. So I need to figure out what those words are. I should just stick with precede and follow. I don't know if there's like a P word that means to follow that has a seed in it. That's what I thought the pro was. But we'll figure that out. So that was that one. So because I feel like I did a really horrible job on this one, I'm just not even gonna bother like doing it. Like, I'm not gonna let myself pass on this. I'm gonna like actually redo everything because the workbook is equally as messed up as this quiz was. This is just another blank copy of the quiz. So let's look at the workbook for chapter 18. Okay, so this is everything for 18. I don't know if I did a look at chapter 17. I think I did a 17, but I'm not sure. So basically this one, I basically like messed up on all the English translations because the answer key had all the English translations. I don't know if Magister had time to look at this, but yeah, I just kind of went through with a fine-tooth comb and marked everything up. I'm not like marking points or anything because there's just way too much stuff to be marking. It's basically a overall general, what do I get? What don't I get? What am I screwing up on because I'm just not reading carefully? Okay, so the bottom part here with the grammar questions, or no, this is the word study. Grammar questions I think I did pretty well on. I don't see that I messed up on those, which is good. I have a love-hate relationship with grammar questions. Okay, so word study, let me see. Those ones were good. I guess we can go through the dates of when I did this. This one, does it have a date on it? Oh, there it is. November 5th. That was when I did this one. So this top part was done on November 5th. And then this one was done on November 8th. And I think I got, for the most part, this one mostly correct. Oh, there's some weird stuff with, like, the feminine. They wanted, like, feminine, nominative, singular. Like, feminine just wasn't enough. They wanted feminine, nominative, singular. And then they wanted that for a couple of these other ones, too. Here, masculine, nominative, singular. Neuter, nominative, singular. So, other than that, I think I got everything else on this part correct. I just need to look and see what exactly that nominative singular question is asking. But yeah, everything else looks okay. Okay, so then looking at the second page, this thing I was totally like messed up because I was thinking what endings did they want me to write. I wrote down the whole thing. And after like looking at it, they only wanted the nominative. And then for this category, they only wanted the genitive. So yeah, that's just me not reading instructions or something, or reading the table. I don't know. Yeah. And then here's another one that required reading. Decline multus. And I literally just wrote out the endings. Like, I did not put the stem in there. I just wrote out the endings. Which is kind of like, what? Yeah, so this should have been all declined as multus, multa, multi, all that stuff, multum. Yeah, but this one I did correctly. So Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Is there a date on that one? No, I don't see a date. But this one I did do correctly. I think because it was in English, it was easier for me to handle. I don't know. But yeah, I did do that one correctly. This bottom one, I think was another declension table, which is done correctly. I'm just checking. I think I did this on a Saturday. I did a bunch of Latin pages on. I do a lot of my Latin on Saturday. So this next section was really messed up again. There's these what do they call them? Adjective. I needed to write down that it was a 1-2 declension. And then the same thing here. This one I totally screwed up on because I was thinking donut as like a feminine thing. And it was really like donum. This is like the plural of nova dona, or dona nova. Yeah. So this whole thing is wrong because it's neuter. It's so neuter. And up here, I got it. Wait, is it masculine? It says masculine, novum. Oh, that's in the accusative case? Okay. I don't know whether it's in the accusative, but okay. I don't know. My brain is shot right now. But this, I think, is supposed to be neuter. So that's why all of that is wrong. Another thing here with the adjective 1-2 declension. Other than that, everything else is okay. I'm not good at putting these things together. Like, I'm just not good at putting these things together. Adjectives is probably my new least favorite thing right now. This one I think is okay. Except there's a 1-2 thing again. I think that's a common theme in all of these. This is a 1-2 thing. But everything else, like, I got everything else okay. Is this the one? Yeah, so up on the top, because I don't read my instructions, it says parse, and then there's an asterisk. If you go down to the bottom of the page, the asterisk says, use this for the adjective. Yeah. So that's why I totally got those wrong on the quiz. And that's why I got them wrong up in this section here. So now that I know that, it's a little bit easier to figure that out. Okay, so then this next section, a lot of it was basically word order. Like, they wanted this word to go where it goes in the regular Latin, and I think I just like wrote it out as it is in English. Let's see. Small horses. Yeah, I just literally wrote out small horses, and it should have been like horses small. I'm not good at this whole word order thing. And the same thing is, there's one over here that I had to kind of swap around, but other than that, everything else was okay. Which is, I think this was a little bit easier than this. I should have had this first, then do that. But they didn't ask me when they designed the worksheets, did they? Okay, so for this one, we did on, oh, that's a Bible thing. I wrote down a Bible thing to look up. That's what that is. I had nowhere else to write it. Okay, so we're still continuing on whatever Saturday's date was that I did all this. Again, there's wonky stuff. Let's see what that says. Oh, this is word order again. There, so like with these word orders, instead of like writing them out, I just did like a swishy line thing. And there's a whole bunch of these in this section because the word order is all messed up. Let me see. There's a word order up here. There's just a lot of word order stuff that's wrong. Here's another word order. Yeah. But other than the word order, I think everything else was okay. I'm just checking to see. There's another word order. Okay, new section. I have no clue what this was. Oh, this is translation. Again, I don't know what that is. Can anyone tell me what that is? Oos? Well, it says oos, but I don't know what that says. I don't know. I guess that's what you get when you write with colored marker or colored pencil or something. It should be... Oh. This is... I wrote down like noun and it should be subject. That's what that is. I wrote down noun, it should be subject. So it's a label issue, which is rare. But then bona again, or bonus, again, I screwed up on the name or the type of adverb. Adjective. And then I think that one I got correct. But the translation turned out okay. Let's see, what is some... I think this is the last one. Oh, again. There they have that note. Oh. Well, that note I actually followed. I don't know how I found that. Maybe that's just common sense. Number 2 is all wacky, too. What happened with number 2? Number 2, I totally didn't label these, so that should have been subject. And then... bony should have been the adjective. Yeah, I just didn't mark that. And again, that's a declension. 1-2 declension. And then this one I'm totally messed up on the endings for the verb. My verb stuff is starting to slip, which is not good. I need to pay more attention to my verb endings. Because, yeah, most of that was... Translation was wrong mainly because I got the wrong verb tense. Okay, and the last page for this, let me move that over. More translation work. I don't care what you call it, it's translation work. Okay, up here, up at the top. So again, we got messed up on... See how this is written up because I can't see what this is written up with the light. Okay, so again, 1-2 declension. Everything else is okay. The subject was okay. The verb was wrong in the tense. So because the verb is wrong, yeah, I had the tense of the translation wrong because the tense was wrong. Again, those endings are going to be the death of me. The second one, this is a continuation of the other one. It's like, well, whatever. Second one, the subject is good. Adjective, again, it's a 1-2 adjective, which all of these are 1-2 adjectives. And this one, I wasn't sure what the thing was, but I think I wrote down like CL. I don't even know what that means. All I know is that the infinitive is used. And then this is the regular verb, which I got that one right. Yay. And then the translation is correct on that one. And then these are the Latin saying for the lesson. I'm not even going to say the week. It's just for the lesson, which we're okay. And then more translation work. The subject is okay. The adjective, that's an adverb. The adverb is okay. What is this? The verb was okay. I think there was something they. Oh, I didn't get. I should have written like they was or they were. It should be they were swimming. But in general, I got it okay. But technically, like if I were marking this, it would be like half point off because I should know what und is. Und, bunt. I should know what that is. That should have been like easy point there. But again, it's just those cotton picking endings. Translation in general was okay. The servants was swimming. I think that's incorrect English. Yeah. The third one I think was okay. Subject is okay. The adverb was really messed up. I need to review my adverbs. I think there's sepe and semper. I got those messed up. And the verb, I guess it should have been he had fought or something. Again, there's like a huge word order thing going on here. And I just wasn't sure how that went, but that was what the answer key said. And then the last thing about declensions or conjugating, that was all like really easy. So I didn't have to really worry about that. So in general, as far as all of that stuff goes, at least in the sense of how that part of my stuff went, word order is messed up, and like verb endings, which we're not even done talking about verbs. Verb endings are messed up. Tenses are messed up because I wasn't looking at the endings clearly. There's a couple minor mistranslations. So basically, I'm going to like redo that whole thing, like redo everything. I was supposed to do it today, but I don't know what is up, but I slept like all day Friday. No, Saturday I went to a funeral and I came back and I slept all day. Monday, I think I slept all afternoon. Tuesday, I slept all day. Today, I slept all day. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm not sick or anything. I'm just like physically and mentally exhausted. And I want to say part of it might be the fact that there's a concert on Friday. And there's a lot of stuff going on with that. So I'm wondering if my body is just like trying to preserve energy for that. Last year we did a concert, and literally that night after the concert, like I was in bed, I woke up in the middle of the night, I was sick. So I'm wondering if my body is just like trying to preserve what energy it has in preparation for this, because I don't know what is up, but I'm just like really, really tired, which is not normal. So I don't know if I'm going to get anything done today, but, I gotta think. What was I going to do today? Let me grab my paper. So with all the assignments or parts of my assignment for this, because I'm just like tacking on stuff onto my assignment page for these chapters that Magister is typing up. Teacher is helping me like complete this stuff in the sense of setting so many assignments or a part of an assignment per day. So that's kind of what's going on with that. I'm doing part C of this thing tomorrow, which is writing out Roman numerals and numbers, which do I have that I'm writing these out in ordinals, Latin spelling? It just says Roman numerals and Latin spelling. I think I'll write out the ordinals too, because I need to practice writing out the ordinals. And I didn't recite any of the ordinals, so I don't even know how to do the ordinals. Maybe I'll just do that when I do part C or tack that on later. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'll get more of those pronunciations correct. My cardinal pronunciations were pretty whacked out. So, okay, so he said today that I should do, oh crap, I can't read Roman. It's like 10, 15, and then a bunch of I's. I think it's 17, 16, 17, 18. I think it's 18. Yeah, it's got to be 18. Because I already redid chapter 17. In 17, I got a perfect score. So, basically, for chapter 18, because it's like the weakest area that I've got going on right now, which are the adjectives, I had made an extra copy of all the workbook pages. So I'm going to work on these, and there's a huge section in the back of the textbook which deals with adjectives, I think. So I'm going to read through that. There, right here. I'm going to show you this. So there's this huge section. I don't know what it says, but it's a bunch of it's a bunch of grammar stuff. So I might read this. Well, I'm going to have to read this. So we're going to read this when I do a homework video. And then redo those workbook pages here, wherever that copy is, here. Just redo that, and I'll just like staple this in here. I bought an extra copy of the workbook so that I could make copies for situations like this. I don't want to let myself move on to the next section, which obviously is numbers, but I don't want to move on to numbers until, I've got this part okay. What they should have done was introduce numbers first and then introduce adjectives, because adjectives are kind of tricky. But they didn't ask me when they were putting their lessons together. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do sometime today. Let's look at my homework from chapter 6, which is here. So chapter 6 dealt with the it dealt with the future tense for verbs in the present system, which should be okay because, yeah. Okay, so looking at that, I will write out Latin lines because I can.
and it's going to be something that I know. I'm going to look up some words, but at least it will kind of reflect how I feel right now. So this is chapter 6, I think. That's chapter 7. This is chapter 6. We're going to get this figured out. So chapter 6, the tables were really good. The translation work was a huge botch. Basically, he says there's a lot of like errors in here that you shouldn't be making. Like a lot of verb errors. So eventually he stopped telling me which ones they were. He's like, why don't you just redo the whole thing? You got 2 weeks. Just redo the whole thing. So I get to look forward to redoing all of my translation work. This I did, what is this? This is translation from chapter 7. So I did that on November 24th. So this is just writing up tables, and I think this was mentioned in my other past video. So for the rest of this, I'll be writing out the Roman numerals and the spellings of the different numbers and stuff. So that'll be something fun to work through, something that it's not too laborious, unlike translation work and like parsing. I don't like parsing, and I don't like translation work. So I think, let me see here. So in the sense of things that I'll be doing coming up, whenever that is, obviously I'm going to redo this. I'll probably redo this. I don't know when, but I have to redo that. Read through those pages. I might read through them like now, and that I'll probably bring with me. I'm going to do a Thanksgiving thing this evening, so I'm going to bring that and kind of peck through that, at least start pecking through it. In the sense of other stuff, there is a chapter in here on numbers. No, that's translation work, which is going to take forever. Here, this is the section on numbers, so this is the lesson from First Form that deals with the numbers 1 to 10. And hopefully that'll go a little bit more easier from these adjectives. It'll probably just take some time for the adjectives to kind of sink in. Translation, these are the sentences from chapter 6. So these I have to retranslate and hopefully get them more correct. And then as far as other stuff, these are genitive case translation work because I have having issues with genitive case, and I have not yet got that done. And this thing's been like dragging on for like 2 or 3 weeks now. Yeah. And then there's let me see here. Okay, so we're doing an oral test after holiday. So these are just key things for me to look at for that. The oral test is gonna kind of, it's pretty much in the same format of what we've done for other times for First Form oral test at the end of each unit, because I like to have oral tests. That's what I do. I throw together an oral test and I send it to them. And like, I don't give myself all the easy ones either. I try to be fair. I try to nail on stuff that I know I need to learn, that I know I'm not good at. But I also try to give myself some easy ones too, because if I give myself all the hard ones and it just doesn't work out. Yeah. So at the end of this unit, we're doing an oral test. I won't be doing the written work until after that because of the way the schedule is. Usually I do the written stuff first and then the oral test, but it's kind of flopped around and stuff. So there's an oral test after holiday, so I need to practice declensions and all that other stuff. Let me see here. Is there other stuff on there? Okay, so there's declensions, grammar questions, adjective, cardinal and ordinal numbers. So, and that's just up to 10, so that shouldn't be too bad. But still, I don't know the ordinal numbers. So that's pretty much everything that's on the oral test. And since we've been working through first and second declensions in our little chapter things, we're just going to kind of use that as kind of like an assessment to see where we're at. Because we're kind of coming up on the sections where we've caught up to everything that I've studied. Although we're going through tenses in his little chapter layouts. He wants to finish the tenses and then introduce sum esse, which hopefully I haven't totally forgot that. And then I think after sum esse he might just go into second declension, because I looked at whatever fourth chapter was in this, or fourth unit, and it covered third and fourth and fifth declensions, and the third chapter, the third declension, has like four lessons. So I think he's gonna do second declension and then introduce, or second verb conjugations, and then introduce the third declension. I don't know. I did go through and I made up like a cute lesson thing which covers all of this stuff in all the whole series, so that he can kind of see, okay, well, let's do this and let's do that. We're basically kind of jumping around, which is fine. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I'm using this now as kind of like supplement to what this is. The thing he didn't like about this was, one, there's no, like, hardly any translation work. I mean, there's some, but you got to go through and parse everything. But he is looking at like legit translation work, like sentences like that. So that's kind of what we're doing in that. So let's see. So this would be over holiday, winter holiday. So when we get done with the oral test, that's like our last Latin lesson. 'Cause he has holiday, and it's gonna be like a whole month practically. So we won't meet again until like the middle. No, I think it's the beginning of January. So this is pretty much what I'll be working through over holiday. I'll be doing a lot of it is probably going to be first form stuff. So finishing, or like doing all the written work for chapter 20, which is all review work, which will probably be good because it'll kind of keep all that stuff in the forefront of my mind. So watching the video, which usually when it comes to review work, they don't have a whole lot for the video. It's just like, answer these questions, decline these words, know this, know that. Nothing real important. But let me see here. And then reading through the textbook, which shouldn't be anything real big detrimental. And then obviously going through all the vocabulary. And then going through the recitations just to make sure that I could still do that, which is something I haven't done recitations in like forever. And then studying the grammar questions, because everyone knows I love the grammar questions. Not. I mean, they are important, but they do kind of get, yeah. And then completing the workbook pages, which is that thing here. Well, somewhere. I don't know where I put it. Here. Completing this. Working through pages in that for the lesson. What else? Oh, and then there's a unit review. Forgot about the unit review. So, somewhere, I think this is it. Yeah, so this is a unit review book, which technically, I mean, how they have it laid out is you're supposed to do it between, like, if you're studying, if you're working through this on, like, from a September to March or May schedule, and you don't have Latin over summer, technically you're supposed to work through this book throughout the summer so you don't forget anything. But I am working through it as we complete each unit. It's, for me, I kind of think of it as like a pre-test. Like, if I can do the unit review and get them correct, I'm pretty comfortable about going into the test then. So that's what that is. So I'll be working on that over holiday. And then when I get done with that, then, whoa, that's really close. Sorry, guys. Then I'll be doing the Unit 3 test, which I think is like 3 pages long. Usually the tests are longer. But yeah, but I have all of winter break to work on this. I have till like the beginning of January to get this done. But this is going to be like the longest part of my homework session, if that makes sense. On top of that, if there's, let me see here. So if there's like any late stuff, what I'm calling late stuff, like incomplete stuff that I didn't get done, which this section up here, I would say that's incomplete because it's just been dragging on. Working through that, getting it done. And then I got a bunch of readings. I have Guno, oh gosh, I can't read this. Guino. I think it's supposed to be Greeno. Is that totally wrong? Alan and Greeno. I don't know who Guno is. That's wrong. I think it should be Green. Let me check. Let me see here. Alan and Greeno. Yeah, it's Alan and Greeno. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna have to fix that. Anyways, I've got a bunch of stuff tabbed up in this book that I would like to read through as supplemental stuff. Some of the sections would cover stuff that we haven't covered yet, but it'll at least kind of give me an idea. So at the head of each chapter in this, I've been, when I'd go through and I'd edit these, I'd mark out readings for each of the various chapters, and the new stuff is actually underlined. So I would read section 132 to 135 for this particular chapter, but then I also included all this other stuff in case I didn't get it done. So All of this is gradually a slow accumulation throughout the whole thing, and maybe I will have read the whole book by the time I'm done studying with Magister. I don't know. But reading through those, that'll kind of be fun, I hope. And then this would be like extra stuff, fun stuff. I mean, not horribly like needed, but it's like, hey, if you have downtime, review the chapters, review the vocabulary, work through some more translation through Lipsy, work through, practice grammar if needed. I mean, I don't know. It's just stuff to kind of other stuff to do. And I do want to continue that Lipsy translation thing. I would read a section and then translate it on the spot. But yeah, that's a playlist that hasn't been touched in a while. So that is pretty much where things are at with Latin. This just kind of popped in my head. Teacher and I were talking about Latin stuff. Let me see here. And we were working. Let me find the page. That is the right page. Yay. So teacher was kind of wondering, okay, what is all this stuff? So I was showing him what the book here is, and I says, basically just looking through this and make sure I understand the text and things. And so then, he was like, hold up, what's all that stuff that's underlined up there? I was like, oh, it's probably stuff that I'm supposed to know. So he's reading through it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't understand what they mean by this. And so somewhere around here, we did a couple, translation, things that I kind of understood what it was, like English and then Latin, and then having, the quality, I can't read my writing. It's like the quality, and then there's another one here. This is okay, so this is size or quality, or I can't read my writing. Quantity. So that has a different word order than that. And then there was something down here at the bottom we wrote up. They're saying how some adverbs could be both a quality and a quantity. So we threw together a sentence for that so that I kind of had an idea of what all that stuff was. So that was helpful. That was helpful. I threw in a note down here. I don't think I'm going to do it for as much as I know it would help. But I just don't have the time to, go through and do that sort of stuff with, the good farmer, the bad farmer, the poor farmer, the rich farmer, whatever. I mean, those words aren't even in here. The wide farmer. I don't know. Let's see here. The new farmer. I don't know. I just haven't had time to really do that. But doing something like that would help me understand these adjective things. And I'm thinking I might see if Magister could set something over holiday for those, just to get practice with the whole adjective thing. So we'll see what happens. I might wait till after holiday, but I don't know. So that's kind of where things are at with Latin. I don't know, what time is it? Oh my gosh, it's pitch black outside. I need to go. So I don't know, what time is it? Can I read the clock? It's 6 o'clock or 7. that's the second hand. Uh-oh, I can't find the other hand on this thing. I think it's like 5, but I don't know. Either way, I have to be out of here by like 6:30. So I'm gonna do some reading out of this book and see what I can get done with this. Not with this, but with the workbook pages that I have written off. And we'll just kind of see what happens after that. So that's kind of where things are at right now with Latin for updates. Please like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget, ring the notification bell for all notifications.